In Gaza, where there is a fierce battle in the north of the Strip. The Israeli military says 5 of its soldiers have been killed and another 7 injured in Jabalia. It says it was an incident of friendly fire. Israeli helicopters carrying out strikes in northern Gaza. Let's bring in our correspondent Tariq Abouazoum for the latest. He's in Deir al-Balah in central Gaza. Tariq, what more do you know about the circumstances of the death of these 5 Israeli soldiers?
Well, what was happening, in fact, fully in Jabalia refugee camp is that the military started to deeply push into the heart of the Jabalia refugee camp in order to militarily dismantle the military capabilities of Hamas movement, as they have been claiming before. But the battles there have been described to be the hardest and the deadliest ever, because the level of confrontations are extremely high, specifically that the military wing of Hamas has been releasing different videos showing attacks being carried out against the Israeli troops and different ambushes being made by the Palestinian fighters. They managed within the past 24 hours to trap dozens of Israeli soldiers, killing 5 at least of them, while 7 others being wounded. But the Israeli military has justified the killing of those soldiers being hit by a friendly tank shell fire, which means that the Israeli military has been under intense military pressure in that camp, which is considered to be one of the strongholds of Hamas movement in that area. So generally the ongoing confrontations are still ongoing till now, as the Israeli military has been completely depending on use of excessive firepower represented in destroying residential buildings alongside with key civil infrastructure in that area. But they managed to partially withdraw from some certain streets in the camp there, but at the same time they are trying to redeploy their troops in a way that can avoid them to get high casualties as they going on with confrontations with Palestinian armed groups there.
Yeah, there's fierce fighting clearly in the north, Tariq, while people are fleeing the south, heading to the north.
Yes, according to the United Nations, at least 600,000 Palestinians have fled from Rafah district since the beginning of the military incursion for the city, while only in the past 48 hours, at least 150,000 others being fleeing from that area, as more controversial military evacuation orders being passed to the residents of the central areas of Rafah, as the Israeli military has mobilized more troops in order to expand the fighting to reach this area, despite the Israeli description for the operation to be limited. But what is happening is using collateral destruction in the eastern portion of the city, where confrontations are still ongoing there. Within the past couple of hours, more attacks on Rafah district, where 4 Palestinians have been killed from the same family in the western part of Rafah. And also the military has dropped leaflet in the western areas of Rafah district, close to Al-Mawasi area, for Israeli captives, calling for any kind of help to get them by Palestinian residents. And this is a part of the Israeli ongoing efforts in order to restore their captives. And mainly they have been having different kinds of confrontations where casualties among Palestinian civilians in the Rafah district continue to rise and to arrive to Al-Kuwaiti hospital in light of the great difficulty that emergency workers have been coming through during their process of searching for victims in areas of confrontations due to the high intensity of bombardment there fully.
Tariq, thank you very much for the update. That's Al Jazeera's Tariq Abouazoum reporting there live from Deir al-Balah in central Gaza.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.